Jane, I just wanted to say thank you again so much for the lovely cake that you got us. I was wondering what this good cooler bag that got delivered was about, and it was a lovely cake. So thanks again for the gift. We can't wait to enjoy it tonight. Hold on a second. What the heck are you talking about? You know that cake isn't for you to eat, don't you? I only sent that cake as a gift to my brother for getting a new job, so that means that he's the only one who should be eating it. Sorry, you mean that you sent the cake to our house, but it's actually only for John? That's right, and it's because he got a great new job at one of the largest companies in the world. Of course I expected nothing less of him. Sorry, what exactly are you talking about? Oh, come on, surely you know this. I mean, he's going to be getting paid $150,000 a year, and that's only the entry salary. I guess we can finally say that my brother has made it to the big leagues, huh? So anyways, that's why I, as his little sister, wanted to help him celebrate his huge accomplishment. So I worked really hard at my part-time job to save up and afford to get something from a nice bakery. Jane, I really don't know how to break this to you, but John is still unemployed. Wait a second, Mary. Are you seriously telling me you don't even know that your own husband has found a job? Has he not told you, or do you just not care about what goes on in his life? Honestly, you really should at least try to be a more caring and attentive wife, you know? Excuse me? And just what in the world is that supposed to mean? And the fact that you're keeping this charade up is just so disrespectful. You do realize that the reason my brother has been looking for a job so hard this past year is because you make so little, right? Well, I'm not going to pretend like I work for some fabulously huge company or anything like that. But I am in the upper management of my company, and I don't think my salary is all that small. I don't care how high up you get in your company, it's still nothing compared to what other larger companies could offer. I bet that even after all this time working there, you're probably barely taking in $50,000. Actually, I make more than double that amount, thank you very much. In fact, I've been the one sending money back to your parents instead of John. Oh, please, you really think that I'm just going to fall for such a bold-faced lie like that? I know the truth, and you're through. I really don't know what you could possibly mean by that. I mean, I know that this whole time John has been looking for a job, that he's also been sending money back home through his personal savings. And even though he didn't have to keep sending it after he quit his job, he still kept it up the entire time. He really is such an amazing brother and a great son to our parents. I am so proud of him. Jane, you know that we've talked about this before. I'm not bragging about anything. The truth is that I was sending the money. I don't think that John has ever had any real savings to speak of. Wow, do you ever get sick of lying to people like that? How dare you even try to talk to me that way when you're so ugly? Okay, now you're just being ridiculous. Did you seriously just send that message? I just have no idea what my brother was thinking getting married to you. I just wish you two would get a divorce already. Then maybe he could move back in with all of us here at his real home. That's really what you want to happen to your brother and I? I don't really care at all what happens to you, but you better not touch that cake. I'm serious when I say it's only for my brother. If I find out that you had even a crumb, there will be consequences. Hey, John, are you there? What's this news I'm hearing about you finding a new job? Is that really true? Because this is the first that I'm hearing about it.
Wait, what? What are you talking about?
Well, it's just that your sister sent us a cake. She said it was to celebrate you landing a new job at some huge company somewhere. Is that really true? Because that would be really amazing if it were.
Oh, did Jane really go and do that for us?
Well, I just wanted to double check with you since you haven't mentioned anything about that to me. In fact, I thought you said that you were going to the temp agency again today to look for work, so what's the truth here?
I'm not going to lie to you, Mary. It's been a year since I quit my job, and I seriously don't think I can keep looking anymore. But I was getting sick of everyone asking me about the job hunt, so I just told Jane that I found something.
I see. And that's why Jane thought she had the right to talk down to me? Because she was really laying into me for not knowing that my husband had found a new job. Not only that, but she said that the whole reason you quit your job in the first place was because I wasn't making enough money. I was just curious if you had any idea where she might have gotten some of those notions.
Well, the thing is that I haven't actually told my family why I had to leave my last job, so I just kind of gave them a story I thought they would buy.
I see. Because even when I tried to explain to your sister that I was the one sending money back to them, she just accused me of lying. You know, I really hate being called a liar when I'm telling the truth.
I know, but think about the position I'm in. If I get caught in this lie, things will get really bad for me. So please, I'm asking you, as my wife, to just hold off talking to anyone else about this, please.
I see. And when your family starts ordering me to leave you, should I just sit there and take that too?
What are you talking about? Who was saying that to you?
Well, it's what your sister said she wishes we would do. She wanted us to break up so that you could move back in with your family.
I see. You know, that's actually not such a terrible idea. Maybe I should just move back in with my parents.
Wait, what? You don't actually mean that, do you?
Well, I've actually been thinking about it for some time. I was thinking that it's been so hard to find a job that maybe we should just be apart until I do finally find something.
John, literally, what are you talking about? What does us living together have to do with you finding a job?
I just feel like I'm always under so much pressure to be finding work when I'm at home.
And do you think that that has anything to do with the fact that you haven't had a job in over a year?
That's not fair. I've been trying really hard just to find a job while you've been having a successful career. It's just really depressing for me to have to watch that happen while I get nothing.
I really don't understand you. When you quit your job, I agreed to support us both with my salary and help support your family as well. And now you're telling me that I'm the reason you can't find a job?
I'm just saying that living with you makes me feel like I have a ton of pressure on me to find something, you know? And it's like, no matter how hard I try, I know I'll never catch up to you, and it makes me feel even more pressured.
But you're telling me that if you go back and live with your parents that you'll be able to find a job?
I just think that I'd feel a lot better if there wasn't so much pressure for me to have to do so. Well, maybe we should try something new. How about you go back to live with your parents instead, and I stay here in the house?
Are you serious?
Of course I am. But you'll still have to send me money every month. I think maybe $1,500 a month should do it.
So you're now telling me that not only do I have to move out of the house, but I still have to send you money to support you?
Well, duh. You know that I don't have a job. You're the only one who makes money around here.
Well, if I go back to living with my parents, then I'm going to be supporting them instead so that I don't become a burden.
Oh, come on. Don't do that. I promise I really am going to try hard to find a job. Besides, you still need to keep sending money to my parents as well.
So you want me to keep sending them $1,000 a month and you $1,500? Do you really think I can afford that?
Oh, don't worry, I'll find a job right away, an even better one than I had before. Then we can go back to splitting all the costs.
I still don't see why I should have to go home to live. I mean, we have a guest house, why don't I just stay there?
What would even be the point of that? How could I bring chicks over if you're still around?
Excuse me, chicks? And just who are these chicks you're bringing around?
I just met some other women, I know who are looking for jobs as well. I've met some people at the temp agency who I've gotten close to, and we agreed to talk about our job hunts and share tips. You didn't think that I meant anything else than that, right?
Well, if that's all you're going to be doing with these chicks, I don't see why I can't just stay in the guest house. No, if you have no other objections, I'll move my stuff out there and agree not to tell anyone the truth about your job hunt. Hey, Mary, I thought my brother told you that he wanted you gone. Why don't you just go home? And how dare you not support my brother in his new job? Jane, what are you talking about right now? I am talking about John's new job. I knew that he asked you to leave him alone for a bit so he can concentrate on his new job. But you told him that you didn't want to because you didn't feel like it? Do you realize that working for such a huge company means that John is always under pressure? You need to give him the space he needs to work efficiently. What work is he even concentrating on? He wants me gone so that he can invite over other women. I don't see why I should go home and let that happen. Ugh, you are such a pain to deal with, do you know that? How dare you just ignore an order from your husband? I know that I was right to file your divorce papers myself. Divorce papers? What are you talking about now? Well, I saw my brother struggling, so I helped him out just a little. But now it's time for you to go back to where you came from. I've already set up everything. You two are divorced, and there's no reason for you to stay with my brother any longer. Are you really saying what I think you're saying right now? That's right. I really do outdo myself sometimes. And now that you are split up, you have no right to be living in that house with him, so just do as my brother commanded and go home. You're kidding me. You mean you just sent off our divorce papers without talking to either of us? I told you that I wish you two would just break up for a long time now. But I realized it wasn't going to happen without a little intervention. So I did what had to be done. I signed and sent off your divorce papers. I see. Well, good luck with your unemployed brother, then. What are you talking about? I'm tired of you all, and I don't care to explain, so I'm just going to pack up my things and go home. You should know that I did my best to encourage John to find a job, but now it's not my problem anymore. Wait, no, seriously. What are you talking about? What do you mean John is unemployed? He has a job. He's had one for a while now. He's working hard at a huge company, isn't he? No, that was just a lie he told you. Of course, you thought I was lying to you, but I was only ever being honest. What do you mean? How could he be lying to me? Well, he lied about finding a job. He hasn't had any work since he quit his last job over a year ago. But, wait, that can't be right. My brother would never, ever lie to me. I know that he found a job with a huge company and that he left his old job to be able to take care of all of us. He worked himself to the bone for the past year trying to get this position. You're forgetting that I also didn't make enough money for him. Of course, that's not really why he quit. He quit because he was being sued by a young woman from his office. Not just any young woman, but the daughter of the company president, in fact. One reason John hasn't been able to find any work is because he's basically been blacklisted from the industry by his last boss. And that's how things have been for the past year. Are you kidding me? That can't be right at all. There's no way that my brother would be fired for something like that. I refuse to believe it. Well, you can believe it or not, but you might want to check with John himself about this. Because it was then that I decided I wanted to divorce him, but he begged me not to leave him until he found a job. I even have footage filmed of him begging me not to leave him for his mistake. I can send the video to you, but you aren't going to like what you see. No, that's impossible. My brother wouldn't really do that. In fact, ever since then, I've been the one supporting both your brother and your family. John ordered that I take over paying your family since he didn't have any more income or savings. So then, you were telling the truth when you said that it was you sending the money to my family? That's what I was trying to tell you, but you just accused me of lying, remember? And your good-for-nothing brother told me that my presence was putting too much pressure on him to find a job. And now you're telling me that you've gone ahead and ended our marriage for us, so with that done, I don't see any reason to stay around here.
Mary, please, don't do this. Don't leave me.
I'm afraid it's too late to undo this. Besides, your sister was the one who divorced us. But at least you should have no problem finding a new job now.
No, I can't do it. Now my parents are going to start telling me to find a job, and it's never going to happen.
What do you mean? Do your parents know the truth?
Yes, I don't know how, but they found out the truth, and they're furious with me now. They told me they thought I was looking for a job this whole time. Then they demanded that I pay you back for all the money that you had been sending them, and finally they said they never wanted to see me again.
Oh, wow, that's even better than I thought. And here I was thinking that I would never get that money back. Make sure to tell your parents thanks for me.
Please, Mary, I need you now. I swear that I'll really start looking for a job, and I'll be back for everything. Just please, don't leave me. If I don't find a job, then my family is really going to stop talking to me.
And why is that my problem? You're my ex-husband, so leave me out of this.
Mary, you don't really mean that, do you?
Of course I do. I've been supporting you and your family for the past year while you've sat around doing nothing. Then you have the gall to lie to your family and tell them that I'm the reason you quit. On top of that, you let your sister get away with insulting me as a lazy liar while you let her believe you had found work. And then after all of that, you really try and tell me that I'm the reason you couldn't find any work up until now? Well, I have had it with you and your family, and once this divorce is all over and done with, I never, ever want to see you again. After that, Jane began texting me, desperately asking for money since I had stopped sending any to John's family. In the end, she barely managed to graduate college. She did end up finding a job, but it was at a very small company that was near the bottom of her list of places she'd like to work. I heard that even John managed to find a job, but had to bite the bullet and take over a 50% cut in pay. While living at home, his parents forced him to send part of his paycheck back to me to pay back all I had given them. When he sent me the final payment, he asked if I would think about getting back together with him. I just blocked his number and never talked to him again. After we divorced, I moved into a nice condo by myself and have been readjusting to single life. I've also finally been able to afford to send money to my own parents, who were glad to hear I got out of such a horrible marriage.
Hey, you! I've been waiting all day to hear from you. How was your pregnancy checkup? Hi, Mom. I'm sorry. I just came back from the hospital and fell asleep. The doctor said that the baby was healthy. Stop talking nonsense. You know what I want to know. Seeing how you avoided me like that, I knew it immediately. It's a girl again, isn't it? Mom, regardless of the gender of the child, it is still my child and your grandchild. I just accept that my grandchild is a boy. How many times do I have to say it again? You are such a bad wife. Your only duty is to deliver a son for my family, but you can't do it. This is already the second daughter. What are you going to do? But Mom, I can't decide the gender of the baby. And whether the baby is a boy or a girl, it's still your grandchild. This time, gender is not a big matter anymore. What did you say? You mean I'm old-fashioned, backwards thinking, and sexist, right? No, Mom. I never think that. I'm so sorry. But my husband doesn't need a son. He never talked about it. He is my son. What I want is what he wants. My son is the main heir of this big family. He will never have a daughter. I don't want to say more. Get yourself an abortion. You can take advantage of this while your husband is on a business trip and abort it. And then it can be said that you fell down the stairs or hit a car or something. I will testify for you. What? No, Mom. Please don't force me to do that. Only 2 more months until the baby is born. I cannot kill it. Mom, I'm begging you. Don't do this to your grandchildren. You have forgotten your place. You have no decision-making power here. I didn't like you from the beginning. I don't understand how you manipulated my son to make him insist on marrying you. Mom, I beg you. Please pity me. pity your grandchild. Don't make me have an abortion, please. You can treat me as badly as you want, but please, don't harm my kids. Hey, have I treated you so badly? I don't remember it that way. I have always cared for and pampered you and your stinky little daughter. You are so ungrateful to say that to me. I've given you two a place to eat and sleep. That's already too kind to useless people like this. I'm so grateful to you, but... But what? Are you expressing your dissatisfaction to me? Don't I just ask you to do all the housework? You don't have a job. You don't make any money. Shouldn't you do something like that to repay me? No. I never mean that. Or do you still think it was because I tripped your foot and caused you to fall, so you had to go to the hospital for a checkup? I already made it clear. My feet were left there before because you walked carelessly and got caught on your own. I'm so sorry. It was my fault. How dare you say I treat your daughter horribly? You mean I abused her? Mom, I don't want to blame you for anything. It's just, my daughter told me that sometimes you would spank her just because she said she liked having a sister. I also saw some bruises, like being beaten with a whip on her legs after she returned from your house. Do you know anything about this? Oh, you cannot believe a single word of the child. Maybe she was so playful that she fell or fought over toys with her friends in class, and she was afraid of being scolded by you, and she made up stories like that. You are a mother. You must care for her, not ask me like this. Yes, Mom. I understood. I will be careful. But the little girl also said you never hug, kiss, or let her sit on your lap. She admires the other children who can play with their grandmother and always asks why you don't like her. I'm afraid that if it continues like this, she will be psychologically affected. So what? After all, she's just a useless girl like her mother. Later, she will only get married and have nothing to do with this family anymore. So why should I waste my feelings on her? Mom, please don't use that word in front of my daughter. And please don't say negative things about the birth parent in front of the kids. If she hears it, she'll think it's all my fault. Like it or not, that's the truth. No one in this house welcomed its birth. If you had listened to my advice about the abortion, she wouldn't have suffered this much. All because you were determined to give birth to it. It's all your fault. Please grant me your forgiveness. That I have suffered enough. From now on, I will no longer tolerate your harsh words towards the children and me. How dare you? Don't have an abortion. I'll kick you three out of this house. This family doesn't have excess money to feed parasites like you. So now, you must have an abortion and give me a grandson. Or you bring your ugly daughter out of this house right now. With all due my last respect, Mom, I will never kill my child. You don't have the right to kick me out of this house. My husband and I are not divorced, and we do not intend to be. So technically, this house is half mine, and he won't allow you to do this. Aren't you afraid he'll find out what you did to me and get mad at you? Are you threatening me? Huh! You are very audacious to say that. Don't you keep pretending to be a meekness and forbear daughter-in-law anymore? This is your real face, isn't it? I have always been patient with you until now, not because I pretend, but because I respect you as my husband's mother. But it's fine if you criticize me, but if you want to harm my babies, I definitely can't let it go. Huh? Then what are you going to do with me? Hit me? Scorn me? Or sue me? Do what you're gonna do. No, Mom. I won't act like that. I just need you to let us live together and never come to my house again. You are not entitled to give me orders. I didn't order you. I just wanted to have a deal with you. Deal with me? Do you have anything worth trading with me? I have your son's belief and love. You know that your son always trusts and loves me. If I showed him the messages you forced me to have an abortion, We all know how he would react. Hillary, you are being ridiculous. You should better not let my son know about this. Fine. I let you give birth to that baby and never touch her again. I will make you have to regret this. Yes. Thank you, Mom. I hope you can keep the deal. I promise that no one will ever know about this conversation today.
Hey, Hillary. I heard that you gave birth yesterday, right? How do you feel now?
Oh, hi, Mom. Luckily, I had a healthy delivery. The new baby is very cute.
Oh, that sounds great. So, when will you go home from the hospital?
I think I will come home in the next 2 days. I'm not assured about my daughter. I don't know if she can get ready for the first day of school next week.
Oh, you don't have to worry about it. It would be best to take care for your health and the newborn better. Your husband told me that the newborn is not gaining enough weight, so you should stay at the hospital a few days to monitor her health.
Mom, actually, the newborn is...
Oh, don't worry about the firstborn. I will take care of her for you in the next 2 days.
Really? It's so surprising. I think you've changed.
Yeah, Hillary, I think you said it right. Even if the babies are boys or girls, they are still my grandchildren, and I should care about them. I apologize for being so harsh on you earlier. I know you will not tolerate my mistakes, but I hope you will allow me to make up for you and the babies.
Oh, Mom, I am very happy to hear that. My daughter will be very excited when she hears about this. Of course I forgive you. I have always wished that we could become a real family.
Thank you, my lovely daughter-in-law. Yeah, it's the perfect time to build a true family.
I am also very sorry for getting angry and saying bad words to you the other day. I hope you didn't take it seriously.
It's okay. I was the one who was wrong first. I was very sorry for forcing you to have an abortion. I really can't believe I would say such cruel words. Fortunately, you did not listen to me.
It's all over, Mom. You don't have to feel guilty about it anymore. I'm so curious. What could make you change your mind?
I was just thinking about what you said. Indeed, I have not loved my beautiful grandchild before, and I want to make up for that time for her. Besides, I also don't want my son to be bothered when there are conflicts between the two women he loves the most. I believe you don't want that either?
Yes, Mom. I believe we can live together harmoniously.
Well, I understand. You've just had a baby, so I'm sure you're tired. You just have to rest and remember to stay in the hospital to monitor your health for a few more days. I'll come and take my grandchild to my home. Don't worry.
Yes. Thank you, Mom. Hi, Mom. The baby and I had just got home. Thank you for taking care of my daughter these days. Can I ask you to drive her to my home, please? My husband went to the company for urgent issues and I couldn't pick her up yet.
Huh? What are you talking about? Your daughter hasn't been in my house for 2 days. I don't know where she is.
What? Mom, but you said you would take care of her when I stayed at the hospital. Why don't you know where she is? Besides, it's been 2 days. Why didn't you tell me sooner?
Hey, I said I would take care of her, but I said I would only take care of her for 2 days. That's because you stayed in the hospital for so long without hiring a babysitter. Why didn't you care about her? Why blame me?
How can you completely shirk any responsibility like this? It was you. You told me to stay at the hospital longer. Oh no, my poor daughter. I need to call the police. I need to call my husband.
Hey, calm down.
He said he would be home in a minute. My daughter is missing.
Should I calm down? No, my daughter. Why do you have to waste time, effort, and money to find her? Who can be sure she's still alive? Gloria, how can you talk like that? You're such a cold-blooded person. If anything happens to my daughter, I will never forgive you. I will curse you to death.
How dare you call my name like that?
You seem like you're from a bad upbringing. What can I expect from a stupid, poor girl that a single mother raised? Besides, she just got lost while playing on her own. Didn't I purposely throw her out on the street, and you told me I was cold-blooded? So why didn't you tell me earlier? Because you didn't ask me about her. What kind of mother would leave her child to someone else to look after and then ignore it? The kid got lost. That's all because of you. Yeah, you're right. The child is missing because of me. Because I trusted you so much that I gave her to you. Hey, Hillary, calm down. This is not a time to blame one another. Yes, I need to find her. Where did the last time you met her? No, Hillary, I didn't mean you should go to find her. It's just that we can't tell if she's starved somewhere or she's been sold. We shouldn't waste our time looking for it. You should give birth to a new one. I have a feeling you will have a son this time. Shut up! How dare you talk about my daughter like that? Don't you have the slightest concern for my daughter? How could you say such scary things? Even now, do you still want to have a grandson? Didn't you promise not to harm the children and let us live in peace? And I still kept my promise. I promised not to touch you and the newborn baby. Look, you two are still healthy. You are so shameless. You clearly said that you wanted to live peacefully with me, didn't you? Why are you doing this? You are such an idiot. Do you think I'll ever humbly apologize to you? I just did this so you can relax your vigilance and let me pick her up. If she disappears, you'll have to have another baby, and I'll have a chance to have a grandson. What? That's all your plan? Just to have a grandson? It is really scary, Gloria. So what? You can't do anything now. Be obedient and give birth to another child. My grandson can't wait anymore. My husband has already come home. Wait. Oh my God. That's my daughter. He brought our daughter come home. What? It can't be true. I dropped her far away from home. Gloria, I really wanted to live in harmony with you, but now it seems that will never happen. My husband said he knew everything you did. No, you are such a liar. You promised not to let him know anything. Yes, I still keep the promise. I am not the one who told him about this. My daughter did. What? How could he find her? I was careful. It turns out he came to the company to pick our daughter up. She said that yesterday you drove her to a park that was very far away from my house and dragged her out of the car and drove away. She cried and called out your name, but you didn't stop. She was very scary. But fortunately, a colleague of my husband's walking in the park recognized her and took her home to care for her. No! No! It's impossible! My husband's phone was run out of batteries yesterday, so the coworker couldn't call him until this morning. As soon as he arrived at the company, my daughter told him everything. He is furious now. You! It was because of you! Since you appeared, my obedient son has completely changed. If it weren't for you giving birth to 2 daughters, I wouldn't have come to this step. Gloria, you're so obsessive about it. Besides, I never said that the newborn is a girl. What? Really? You mean that the newborn is a boy? Do I have a grandson? Oh my God. It's unbelievable. Why didn't you tell me sooner? I wouldn't have treated you so harshly if I had known this. Oh, my beloved daughter-in-law. Yes, Gloria, my newborn child is a boy. But he is no longer your grandson anymore. What are you talking about? Of course I'm his grandmother. No, Gloria. My husband and I have decided to never allow you to come near, touch, talk to, or even look at our children again. We cannot let our children come into contact with a cruel, autocratic, sexist person like you. No. No way! You can't do that! You're lying! My son will never do this to me. Actually, this is his decision first. You should feel lucky that my daughter didn't get hurt. We would have sued her for child abuse if she was in pain. No, Hillary, please. Why can't I text my son anymore? He has blocked you already. And now, it is my turn. No, please, Hillary, I'm really sorry. Hillary, from the bottom of my heart, I am so sorry. Please let me see my grandson. I promise not to harm you or the kids anymore. Please forgive me. After that, my mother-in-law came to the house to meet and apologize to us. But my husband refused to meet her face to face and sent her away. She cried and begged me to help, but honestly, I couldn't forgive what she did to the kids and me. My husband decided to cut ties with her and move to another place. I heard that when she heard that we were moving, she went to our friend's house to ask for our new location, but no one would tell her. Now I am very happy with my fulfilling life. My husband still loves me and the kids very much. Even though it was a bit difficult at first, we overcame it and are still together.